Hola, mi gente. I'm putting together this week's newsletter, and we're talking tariffs, we're talking stock market, we're talking about inflation. And so, if you're not on my newsletter, get your whole life together. Okay. All you have to do to join my newsletter is literally go on any of my Instagram posts and type the word newsletter as a comment, and I'll send you the link. Every week, I'm sending the most pressing financial news, what you should be aware of. I'm sending you resources to help you save, make, keep your money, and sharing the latest podcast episode with you, and all that and more. So if you're not on the newsletter, get your whole life together, because every week I'm giving you money advice so that you don't feel like you don't know what the hell's going on in the world. And this week's episode with my daily from My Daily Dinero is no exception. You guys have to tune into the episode because I think it's a very timely thing to be talking about how to make a career pivot that is going to help you make more money. Okay, on the episode this week of the podcast, My Daily talks to us about how she transitioned from teaching into tech and 3 extra income. Okay, so she's making triple the amount of money that she was making as a teacher. She's working remotely instead of having to slave away in a classroom. And she was able to pivot her existing career skills into a tech career. Okay, so if you find yourself right now in a career where you feel stuck, where you feel like you're working too damn hard for your money and you have nothing to show for it, this episode is for you. Please tune into the podcast, whether that's on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. We literally are everywhere. iHeartRadio, and everywhere in between. Feeding your brain knowledge and also hearing about what is possible is transformational. And I know that because it helped transform my life when I started reading and learning about different women of color who were out here building businesses, pursuing financial independence. And so if you're struggling right now, I need you to feed your mind about what is possible. And you do that by immersing yourself in environments and surrounding yourself with content, with inspiration that literally shows you what is possible. Okay? So I wanted to say that. And I also did want to hop on here real quick because if you didn't log into your investment accounts today, my advice is if you don't have to, don't. Because the shit was ugly. Okay? The shit was ugly. Starting from this morning, can anyone guess what may be going on that is affecting your investment accounts? Something very strategic happened today. Okay? Something very fucking timely is fucking with your money in the market. Anyone? Bueller. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Tariffs. The tariffs have officially gone into effect, okay? So, Mr. President has been, teasing, or threatening, I should say, because there's nothing teasing about that man. He just threatens people. He's been threatening tariffs on Canada and Mexico for the past month. His logic for why he wants to pursue tariffs against Canada and Mexico is because, quote, they are allowing too much fentanyl in the country. And as a punishment, we're going to penalize them by forcing them to charge us more for stuff. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that logic, but that's neither here nor there. But the fact of the matter is that the United States is imposing some serious tariffs on our 2 biggest trading partners, Canada and Mexico, besides China. China is a whole other story. And so what does that mean for you? Well, that means that shit's about to get more expensive. We're talking about things like gasoline, lumber, food, okay? Like important things. Mexico is one of the largest importers of cars for us, right? So we buy a lot of cars from Mexico because a lot of American companies have factories in Mexico. Go figure. And so there's potentially going to be a lot of real world impact from these tariffs on your pocketbook. But what you have seen today in the market is investors' reaction to kind of the unknown of what's going to happen. CEOs across lots of different industries are basically warning people that, hey, shit's about to get more expensive for you, because when we have to pay more for the products that we sell you, we're going to charge you more. That's just how it works, right? Supply and demand. Like a company that has to pay more for the goods that they're going to sell you are going to charge you more for those goods. And so that could potentially be, your grocery bill is going to be higher, your heating bill is going to be higher, your gasoline bill is going to be higher. So I say all this to say, first off, when it comes to the stock market, at the end of the day, fundamentally, the stock market and what it does is controlled by human emotion. So if investors are freaked out because they're afraid that because prices are going to go up, people are going to spend less money, that means lower profits for businesses, which means potentially lower returns for shareholders. And that's what would cause the stock market to go down, right? These tariffs are introducing a lot of uncertainty in the market, and investors typically don't like that. Investors like feeling like they are putting money into a system that is going to reward them. And so when they don't feel like that's going to happen, that's when you see these sell-offs. Now, if you listen to this podcast, you know that these moments are not the time to panic. Okay, these moments are not the time to make rash decisions. This is not the time to go and liquidate your 401k. This is not the time for you to stop investing. This is just a time for you to be strategic. This is the time for you to think about, hey, do I have some extra money that I would like to deploy into the stock market because it's on sale, right? When things are going down in price, typically it's a good time to buy them, right? And so the stock market is no different. There's still incredible opportunities for you to build wealth in times of, negative stock market scenarios like where we find ourselves right now. And so I would caution against taking any kind of drastic measures. I would ask you to stay on the path that you are on. If you're already investing, continue to invest. And if you happen to have some additional income that you've been kind of trying to figure out what to do with it, this might be an opportunity for you to maybe buy up some stocks, some shares of companies that you are a fan of that are, at a significant discount. I love this comment. Yes, the market rewards you for your patience, not your panic. That's a great perspective. And it's true, because I think about all of the different times where I kept investing even though shit was going crazy. I graduated into the Great Recession. I graduated in 2007. And so I had just opened my 401k at work. And then 6 months after I started working full time, the American economy crashed. But I kept investing, and my account has shown that was the right decision. Same thing with the pandemic. When a lot of people were pulling out of the market with the pandemic, I was doubling down on my investments, and that has paid off tremendously. So don't freak out. Slow and steady wins the race. And I think in scenarios like what we're seeing right now, where there is a lot of uncertainty about what is happening, there's a couple things I would recommend. First, make sure you're diversified. Okay, you should not be investing in one stock or a couple of different stocks. You should be investing in very diversified assets like index funds, ETFs, and not just in the US. Okay, I think this is an important mistake to avoid. Don't just invest in the US stock market, because obviously there's a lot of volatility with what's going on here in America, but the globe, the world, right, has economies that you can also invest in too. So taking a look at international investment opportunities, Europe, Asia, Latin America, there are major economies across the world. And ironically enough, the international markets are actually outperforming the US right now. Okay, so if you're only investing in the United States, you're missing out on potentially more diversification, first off, and also higher returns right now based on what is happening. So I'll say that. And this is a great time for you to continue to deploy a kind of set it and forget it mentality when it comes to investing. Don't be obsessing about the day-to-day activities that are going on in the market. Okay, because if you're a long-term investor, you're not here investing for a week or a month or even a year. You're investing for a decade. Okay, you're investing for 2 decades. You're investing for a lifetime. You're investing for the next generation. All right, so maintain that perspective because we just don't know what's going to happen. And the less you can like take your emotions out of it and just kind of keep doing what's working, you know, over the long term, that's my best advice. Do you know of one good index fund that encompasses global markets? Yes, and I will say that there are a shit ton of index funds that encompass global markets. Obviously, there are a lot of different brokerage firms. One that I personally invest in, and this is not investing advice, okay? This is not investing advice. This is just what I do, and it may be a good solution for you. It may not. You have to think about what are your own personal goals. One of my international ETFs that I like investing in is SCHF, and that is the Schwab International Equity Fund. So there are, Sandra here is sharing BT, which is a Vanguard ETF that is international based. But if you go on your brokerage's website, whether that's Fidelity, Charles Schwab, Vanguard, etc., and you type in international funds, they'll give you a list, right? And so then you can go inside of what's called a prospectus, which is like the fact sheet of the investment, and it'll tell you what part of the world are you investing in. Is it Europe? Is it Latin America? Is it Asia? Is it an emerging market? Emerging markets are like second and third world regions of the world where like the economies are not fully developed. And so, you know, there's a lot of different ways to invest internationally. I like using the index fund and ETF approach because you don't have to pick specific companies. And we're thinking about like international companies. These are huge companies that you know and that you're probably a customer of. Like one of them that comes off the top of my head is like Nestle. Right, Nestle is an international based company. There are pharmaceutical companies, you know, like Novo Nordisk, and a lot of different places in the world that have really big booming economies. So I think it's important to like maintain the perspective that, you know, America, as much as we think we are, we're not the center of the fucking universe. You know, we're not the only ones doing innovative stuff. We're not the only ones with big major companies that are worth investing in. So yeah, just a heads up. What else did I want to cover with regards to the tariffs? Okay. So, you know, I think this week's episode where we talk about like the career pivot and transitioning and making more money, I think this is a really good reminder that if you right now have not thought about ways that you can increase your income and also diversify your income, now's the time, y'all. And the reason why I say that is because if life is about to get more expensive with all of these tariffs, there's really no other solution than making more fucking money. Okay? Like, I'm going to say that again. When the prices of things go up, there really is no other solution that is like long-term viable than making more money. You can only cut so much, you know? You still got to buy gas to go to work. You still got to buy food to feed your family. You still got to pay rent to live in that house. Okay? You still got to go to the doctor. We're not about to be out here like skipping doctor's visits and like skipping meals because the prices of shit are going up. That's crazy shit. Okay? That's crazy shit. We're not doing that. So if we're actually going to continue to like live the quality of life that we want to live and not, you know, risk having to make sacrifices that are, you know, potentially like not good for you, making more money is the only real solution. And so taking a look at a side hustle, if you've been putting that on the back burner, now is the time to be thinking about how can I make extra money? Whether that is going for that promotion, up-leveling your skills, switching jobs, pivoting to a whole different field, starting a business, starting a side hustle, downloading a gig economy app like Turo. If you have a car that you don't use often because you are working remotely, put that fucking car on Turo and start making money. If you have an extra room in your house that is literally like your kid's old room, but they're off at college, put that shit on Airbnb. Okay? Download the Instacart app. Start delivering groceries. Start driving for Uber. Like, now is the time, y'all. Now is the time. I need you to be focusing on making more money, because not only is that going to give you the capacity to pursue your financial goals faster, but it's also going to give you a safety net. You know, there's a lot of layoffs happening. I read yesterday that like, I think it was 262,000 applications for unemployment were filed last week. That's like the highest number in months, okay? So the layoffs that are happening both at the federal level, but also at the private corporate level, that shit's real, okay? There's a lot of people who are losing their jobs right now. The job market is unstable. The stock market is unstable. The only actual thing that you have fucking control over right now is your earning potential, your earning power. So please, I beg of you, think about ways that you can increase your income, diversify your income, because let me tell you, these jobs are ghetto. These jobs are ghetto. You more than likely, and I think, federal workers are realizing this now, something that private corporation employees have known for a long time, that we are at will employed, okay? You, at the end of the day, are a number. And if the math is not mathing for your position or your department or your company as a whole, they're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to get rid of you if they have to get rid of you. And they're not going to be fucking worried about what's going to happen to you. That's the thing. I learned very early on in my career, that these jobs don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter how much extra overtime you work. It doesn't matter how many extra assignments you take on. It doesn't matter how much unpaid labor you do. It doesn't matter how many fucking presentations you slay in the boardroom, okay? How professional you are, what time you show up. None of that shit matters. None of this shit matters. If they need to get rid of you to meet the bottom line, they will get rid of you. And you will find yourself in a situation where I found myself back in 2014, holy shit, I walked into work and 30 minutes later, I didn't have a fucking job. And back then, I did not have my side hustles. I did not have extra income. I did not have a safety net. The only thing I had was a little bit of money in emergency fund, thank God, and a 3-month severance package. The 3-month severance package runs out quick, okay? Especially with this ghetto-ass unemployment out here. So yes, this is the time to diversify your streams of income. And maybe it becomes a business. Maybe it's a temporary thing to help you get out of debt or to build up your emergency fund. But we need to be preparing because we don't know what is coming. We do not know what is coming. Okay? One of the things that I recommend, if you are not in a position right now where you can handle a financial emergency, I need you to be doubling down on finding every way that there is to make some extra money so that you can bulk up your emergency funds. Because there's nothing that will get you into the spiral of debt faster than not having any money set aside for emergencies. Okay? And please put that money in a high yield savings account. High yield savings account is going to pay you 25 times what the average interest rate is of a regular savings account. If you want a recommendation for this high yield savings account that I'm a partner with, send me a DM. I will send you my recommendation, or join my newsletter. You can join my newsletter by commenting the word newsletter on any of my social media posts, and I'll send you the link. Massive passive residual income is the goal. Absolutely. Passive income is the fucking vibe, all right? And I talk about this all the time. My passive income sources, I have several now, but I started as a blogger. So my blog is doing its thing, runs in the background, earns over 100K a year. That's money I don't have to think about, okay? A semi-passive income stream that I have is Airbnb. So I have a vacation property in Puerto Rico. When I'm not using it, I rent it out. That brings in between $10,000 to $15,000 a year. And it's very low effort. I have my cleaning team that's in place. A lot of the stuff is automated through Airbnb. So it's pretty much another business that's running itself. My podcast is monetized passively with ads. I get money from YouTube. So there's a lot of different ways that you can create passive income streams. Obviously, one of the most accessible for anybody that you don't need to have a business is investing. All right. Investing and getting those capital gains, getting that dividend income, that is passive income. That is literally putting your money to work so that you don't have to. So this is why I'm teaching my live workshop this month. If you want to join, comment the word invest and I'll send you the details. Honestly, all of us should be investing because it's the easiest way to make passive income. Okay? It's literally anybody can do this shit. And you don't need a lot of money to start investing. You can literally start with $1 and work your way up from there. The most important thing is to actually get started. And especially in this time where there's like a lot of volatility that's happening in the market, these are the times where wealth is built, okay? This is the time where wealth is built during times of market volatility. When people, the general public is running away because things look very scary, the smart ones, the ones that know how the system works, are putting more money. They are doubling down, okay? I actually have an upcoming blogging workshop. You can find out all those details in my link in bio. So YoQuieroDineroPodcast.com/links. I have all of the links to my upcoming workshops. I have freebies you can download. I have the latest podcast episodes, courses, all the shit that you want to know. Okay. And obviously, the best way to kind of stay in touch with everything that's going on is to join my newsletter. And that link is in the bio as well. So yeah, I just wanted to come on here, give you guys some advice, because I know there's a lot of fear, right? There's a lot of like, oh my God, what's happening with my investment account? What's happening with my money? What should I be doing to prepare financially for whatever may come as a result of these tariffs? My advice to you is, if you're investing, continue to do so. If you're not, start. If you don't know how, join my workshop. That's happening in 2 weeks. If you have not thought about diversifying your income, you need a side hustle. Point blank, period. You need to learn how to increase your income. All right. So I have resources for that. Make sure to check my link in bio and start bulking up that emergency fund, y'all, because you just don't know. You just don't know. You could be faced with a layoff. Maybe your landlord decides to like sell the property that you're living in. You got to move all of a sudden. Maybe your car breaks down. Like there's so much shit that can happen. Right. And now they're saying like car repairs are about to be more expensive. You know, housing might be more expensive. We don't know what's going on. So all you can do is be prepared and really operate from this like sense of, I need to be my own safety net. Nobody's coming to save me. The government is not coming to save you. Your job is not coming to save you. Your tia's not coming to save you. Your baby daddy's not coming to save you. You got to save you. Okay? You got to save you. You got to be able to just pick yourself up, whatever the fuck happens, and put yourself back in a position where you are in control and you are financially unfuckwithable. Okay? That's a term that I use in my book. I want you to be financially unfuckwithable. That is like, I don't give a shit what's going on. You can't fuck with me. Okay? You can't fuck with me because I got my money right. You can't fuck with me because my emergency fund is popping. You can't fuck with me because I got 9 income streams. Okay? You can't fuck with me because I got investments for days. That's the energy we're bringing in 2025. Don't let these politicians fuck with you. Don't let your boss fuck with you. Don't let these ghetto, people in your life who want to make you do stupid shit with your money. No. Nope. We're not doing it. Okay? Lexi says, thank you. Just purchased your Audible book. So excited when I heard that it's your actual voice. Of course you know. Of course I'm going to read my book to you, y'all. It's like a long ass podcast episode. So yeah, I want to pick up a copy of my book, Financially Lit. It's now available in paperback. So, if you don't want to spend the money for a nice, crispy, hard copy book, we got the paperback version. Let me show you guys. We just got it. Oh, and everybody who signs up for my investing workshop that is happening this month is going to get a signed copy of my paperback. So if that's not enough of a reason to come and join, you're going to get a signed copy of this. Hello. Like my actual signature is going to be in here for you. So please do that. All right. Join my investing workshop. Get a signed copy of my book. And also the book's coming out in Spanish soon, which I'm very excited about. Okay. Very excited about the Spanish language version of the book. It's going to be called Yo Quiero Dinero because duh. Okay. So when I find out more about the release date for that, I will let you guys know. All right. Hey, Sandra. Love you, boo. Nice to see y'all. Nadia says, I'm trying to buy a house. Need to make that passive income. Girl, for real. Okay. I became a homeowner last year and it took me years to get to a place financially where I felt comfortable doing it because, honey, homeownership is not for the weak. Okay. A lot of people like to shame folks that rent, but let me tell you, I was a renter for many years, and renting helped me build multiple six figures worth of wealth. Okay? Renting helped me keep my costs in control. It helped me not have to worry about like a fucking furnace going bad, or having to replace a roof, or having to deal with ridiculous neighbors that now all of a sudden you got to sell this house. You know, there's a lot of people that try to shame y'all for renting. Renting helped me build my financial foundation. So tell anybody who has something to say about the fact that you're not a homeowner yet to shut the fuck up, because more than likely they're house poor. They can't actually afford that house. Okay? They probably can't afford that house. The fact of the matter is that a lot of people that own houses think that they can afford them because they can pay their mortgage, but God forbid some shit happens to the house. Okay? God forbid there's a hurricane or a fire or, you know, a million other things that can happen. The roof starts leaking, it caves in, there's a sinkhole, all of a sudden your fucking house is gone. Like, there's so much shit that can happen to a house that you just have no idea. Okay? So the renters out there, like, enjoy your life, honey. Okay? Enjoy your life. Stack your coins. You can cackle at the homeowners. Cackle at the homeowners who are like out here struggling, house poor, thinking they're cute and shit. It's like, no, I know you broke as fuck, but it's okay. You're fine. Enjoy that house. Okay? You buy a house when you can actually afford not just the mortgage and the insurance and the property tax, but the maintenance, the upkeep, the landscaping, the upgrades, the selling costs. Okay? All of that. All of that. And sometimes it's still very ghetto. You know, I love my house. I'm glad I bought it when I did. But I have this anxiety and stress now that I just didn't have as a renter, because I know whenever some shit goes down, it's going to be up to me. It's going to be up to me. That roof one day is going to need to be repaired. Goddamn. You know what I'm saying? And everything. Like, you don't realize how little $1,000 is until you have a house. Everything costs at least $1,000. You know, you want a washer? That's going to be $1,000. You want a new fucking dryer? $1,000. Yeah, you want a subscription for the pool guy to come and clean your pool every year? At least $1,000. You know, it's monopoly money at that point when you got a house. It's like, wow, this shit doesn't even feel real anymore. I've never seen so many zeros. You know? And then on top of that, you hope that you paid a good price for it, and that when you go to sell it, that hopefully, you know, somebody buys it for more than you did. But the house that I bought, I actually paid less than the guy who owned it before paid for it. So go figure. You know, he got screwed, but that's what happens. I mean, that shit happened to me with my first house. I actually ended up selling it for less than I bought it for. So, yeah. I think the whole point of my rant just now was like, there's no one right way to do this. There's no one right way to do this money thing, okay? Everybody's situation is different. Stop comparing yourself. You will get to the place that you want to get to when it's your time, when you have done the work, when you are emotionally, mentally, physically, financially ready to take on those things, you know? And don't let nobody out here shame you and tell you that there's only one way to do shit. Okay? Because the fucking expensive part of having a house is all the shit you gotta buy to put inside of it. But I'll see you guys soon. Love you. And yeah, I'm probably going to share this chat on the podcast, so stay tuned. All right, y'all. Talk soon.